Hey, what's up, cats and kittens? And shout out to all my cerebralites. It's me, the Cerebral Diva. And I want to talk about something that is the proverbial thorn in my side when it comes to dating. So, I happen to be a person who is extremely anal about punctuality. Nothing drives me crazier more than people who are not on time. Um, it's not just the fact that people aren't on time, it's how little consideration that they give for your time. And what I mean is, in 2017, right, we live in a day and age of cell phones, um, text messages, emails, smoke signals, bat signals, singing telegrams, SOS, Instagram. I mean, there's 1,001 ways to get a message to someone, letting them know that you're going to be late or that you're running behind schedule or that you're not going to show up at all in some cases. But for whatever reason, people have a tendency to think that it's not a big deal if they're late. So let me tell you a little bit about what prompted me to make this video. So this past Sunday, I was at home minding my own business, which I do oh so well. And I'm just kind of having a quiet day. It was raining. And so I'm just, really just sort of in chill mode this particular day. And out of the blue, I get a text message from a guy that I went on a date with maybe a week or so ago. And in the time since we went on the date, we've been communicating, texting back and forth and that sort of thing. But we hadn't had made a date for, or made a plan for an official second date. So on Sunday, he texts me around maybe 10 a.m. And he says, what are your plans for the day? And I said, well, right now I'm just sort of playing it by ear. I don't really have any plans today. It's a Sunday, so it's usually a chill day. And he's like, well, would you like some company? Now, I'm really not one for house dates, but since it was raining, I was like, okay, well, it's kind of a rainy day. It might be nice to just hang out and chill with somebody. So I'm down for that. So he asked me what time would be good. And I said, well, let's plan for around 12:30. And he says, okay, well, I'm going to grab some movies and, we can get some food and just sort of chill out and make a day of it. And I'm like, okay, I'm cool with that. So I had a friend over at this particular time. And so I was telling my friend what was about to happen. So she left and I'm at home and I started getting ready because just like I want people to be respectful of my time, I want to be mindful of the time of others. So I started getting ready, started doing my eyebrows and, all the things that, girls do in preparation for a date. And I'm ready. I have on my clothes. And so I look at my cell phone and 12:30 is come and gone. It's now 12:45. So, all right, I'm going to give him a 15-minute grace period. So I waited. So about 1 o'clock, I still hadn't heard from this guy. So at 1 o'clock, I text him with a question mark, like, what's going on? And he says, oh, on my way. Okay. Now, being on his way wouldn't be such a big deal if he lived around the block, but he lives about an hour and 15 minutes away from me. So at that point, I was so turned off by the fact that he was already late and that he didn't even have the wherewithal to apologize for it. He just says, oh, on my way. So I said, no, don't be on your way. Maybe another time, right? So that was my response to him via text. So when I text him not to come, he calls me up. When he calls me up, he's like, well, you're acting like I so and so, so and so, and you're acting like, I mean, just totally indignant and not an ounce of remorse for the fact that he was late. And so in my mind, I'm like, okay, not only is this guy not punctual, but he's a complete idiot because for some reason he doesn't think that I have the right to be upset that because he's late and because he failed to communicate with me that he was going to be late. So he keeps saying to me, you're acting like. Now, I'm not acting like anything. I'm telling you What you will not do is just show up when you feel like showing up after we've made a plan. Because the problem for me is that he's the one who initiated this date. I didn't ask to spend time with him. I didn't ask to see him. I was perfectly fine at home, chilling by myself, having a great time, just doing work around the house. But I interrupted my time with my girlfriend. I interrupted my time just doing my own thing to spend some time with him because that's what he wanted. But not only did he not honor it, he has absolutely no sort of understanding to what degree that he's wrong. So he's actually making it seem like I'm wrong for being upset about the fact that he's late. So he's a little bit older. And by older, I don't mean like old, but he has a daughter of I think she's about a senior in high school, so she's about to go to college, and he was filling out um, financial aid papers for his daughter. And so he said that that's what was taking him so long. And that's perfectly fine. I understand that. But the moment that you started filling those out, or maybe 3 seconds before you started filling those out, you take the time, you pull out the phone, the same phone you text me with to ask me, could you come over? You pull out that same phone and you go through the same process of texting me to say, hey, I'm running late. Hey, there's been a delay. Hey, can we reschedule? Hey, I'm going to need a little bit more time. Something that gives me an idea that the 12:30 that we agreed upon is not going to happen at 12:30. And then I'm okay. But when you don't communicate at all, and when I call you on not communicating, and by call I mean confront you about not communicating, you're upset about the fact that I'm not playing passive. I'm not in the business of playing passive. And this is what's important to me. So even though it's only our second date, I don't believe in making nice with guys and sort of playing the amiable girl, being like, oh, it's okay. Oh, it's fine. Oh, I understand. No. When a dude comes to you with nonsense from the beginning, you must shut it down from the beginning. You have to teach a man how you want to be treated. And playing nice only gets you hurt in the long run, only gets you mistreated in the long run. So I come out the gate in beast mode. I'm sorry. I'm just so sick of playing games with men who don't seem to understand the impact of some of the choices, or they try to mitigate the impact of some of the choices. Yes, at the end of the day, being late is not the end of the world. But it's not the being late that bothers me. It's what the being late represents. And what that represents to me is selfishness and inconsideration. That's a red flag for me from the very beginning. So if I were to ignore the fact that this person is not punctual, ignore the fact that he doesn't see the error of his ways, and then forego all of that information and get involved with this guy, and then a year later complain about, oh, he's never this or he's not there for me. Well, you knew that from the beginning. So I go into a situation with my eyes wide open. And, one of the things that, as a girl, one of the things that really bothers me about men being late is men don't seem to understand the amount of effort that women put into getting ready for them. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, especially on a day when you're chilling and you're not really wanting to do the work of getting ready, and you make the concession to do so. It's it's a lot to do your nails, to do your eyebrows, to put on your makeup, to do your hair, to shape your legs, all of the things that you want to do to make sure that you're feeling your best, and feeling comfortable in your own skin. And so with makeup, hair, and clothes in particular, like when I put on clothes, if I'm going on a date, or makeup, or have my hair, I want my date to be punctual, because you want your date to see you when you feel your flyest, for lack of a better term. So if you schedule a date at 7 and he shows up at 8:30, and you put your clothes on at 6:30 anticipating him being there at 7, so you basically have your clothes on for 2 hours. Now the clothes are wrinkled, now the makeup, the oil is starting to set in your skin, the hair is starting to fall. And so you're looking, and now you probably want to completely redo the whole process over again because he wasn't punctual. So being punctual is an inconvenience to a woman, because and sometimes, when you have that downtime in between the time that you're ready and the time that you're waiting for your date to arrive, then you start to second guess your outfit. You start to say, I don't know if this looks right, as opposed to if he were there, you just be like, oh, okay, I'm good, let's go. So it's there's a psychology behind why women hate for men to be late, and the biggest point is that it just speaks to a level of inconsideration. It's not just about being late, it's about the non-communication. If you're going to be late, take a couple seconds out to say I'm running late. That would change a whole lot, and that shows a level of respect, and to me that shows that you are a gentleman and that you're thoughtful. So anyway, you guys, needless to say, I blocked him after that. I don't know if he's called me. I just have absolutely no interest. I mean, for me, it's if this is how you begin the dating process, I don't want to stick around to see what the middle and the end may be like. So I blocked him. Life goes on, and I think that I'm the better for it. I'm really interested to hear you guys' perspective on being late and what that means to you, because I cannot stand a person who's not punctual. And one more quick point before I go. These same people, like if you're dating men who are employed and they just tell you stuff like, oh, well, the time just got away from me. Oh, well, I just forgot. Well, you show up to work on time, don't you? You call if you're going to be late to work, aren't you? Yes, you do, because there are consequences if you don't. So anyone who's telling you that it slipped their mind or that they forgot, what they're telling you is that you're not that important for them to remember. That's the takeaway that I have, because if you can remember to call into work when you're late, if you can remember to show up to work on time, then that means that you have the discipline. There's just no consequences in you doing so for me, so you don't do it. So I'll make a consequence, and that consequence is we no longer need to communicate. Anyhow, you guys, I know I'm tough as nails. Don't judge me. um, Anyhow, as always, in closing, remember to live better, love harder, think smarter, and show up on time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all social media platforms. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Yeah, and Cerebral Diva on all of those platforms, spelled just as it says, Cerebral and Diva. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye.